All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're talking about something super important: how to market your retreat in a way that actually feels good. Attracting the absolute perfect people for what you do without feeling pushy or salesy. It all starts with putting your thinking first.
So let me ask you something, and just be honest with yourself. Does marketing your retreat feel heavy? Maybe a little awkward or even just draining? You're doing this incredible, meaningful work, but the whole process of getting people to actually sign up, it just feels off, doesn't it?
And this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures that disconnect. See, you're not selling a simple product or a vacation package. You are inviting people into an experience that could literally change their life. And that requires a totally different mindset. It's an invitation, not a pitch.
Now, here's where things get really interesting. When our marketing feels wrong, what's our first instinct? We blame the tools, right? Oh, my Facebook ads aren't working, or my email funnel is broken. But the truth is, it's almost never a platform problem. It's a thinking problem. The strategy underneath it all is what's really going on.
This really breaks it down. Look, most marketing advice out there is built for impulse buys, fast, logical decisions based on persuasion. But a retreat? That's the complete opposite. It's a slow, deeply emotional decision. It's not about persuasion. It's about giving someone clarity. And that is exactly why all that standard marketing advice just falls flat for us. So what about that person who seems super interested, they ask a bunch of questions, and then crickets? We see that hesitation and we immediately think it's disinterest or that we failed. But what if we redefine it? What if hesitation is actually just a totally normal, expected part of the process? They're not thinking, is this a good retreat? They're thinking, what would this mean for my life right at this very moment? And this is where we fall into the trap. We hear we should be doing content marketing. We should be running ads. We should be setting up these complicated funnels. And listen, each of those things can work on its own, for sure. But when we just borrow all these different tactics without one single unifying idea holding them all together, they start pulling in opposite directions. And what you end up with is this quiet misalignment. It's such a weird feeling, isn't it? Nothing is technically broken. Your emails are going out, your posts are getting some likes, but it all just feels exhausting because your marketing doesn't have a soul. It's not one coherent message. Okay, so what is the solution? It's actually beautifully simple. Clarity has to come before systems. Before you ever touch a single marketing tool, you need to be able to answer these three questions cold. 1, who is this really for? 2, what is the deep, genuine transformation it offers? And 3, why does this retreat need to exist right now? Everything, and I mean everything, is built on this foundation. And here's a really big idea, so lean in for this one. Just being on Instagram or sending out a weekly email does not by itself create trust. The channels are just empty containers. They are not the strategy. So if the channels don't create trust, what does? Well, it's consistency. Real trust is built slowly, over time. When people are exposed to the same clear message again and again, they start to recognize how you speak, how you invite them in, how you explain the transformation. They notice how you hold space for them to make their decision. That's what does it. And this is when the magic really starts to happen. Because when you have that foundational thinking locked in, every single channel, your ads, your emails, your social media, they all just become different expressions of that same core idea. They're all singing from the same song sheet. They stop confusing people and start building this deep sense of familiarity and trust. Getting this clarity creates a whole new way of doing things. You shift from the old way, selling, to the new way, which is inviting. You stop trying to push people, and you just start explaining. You stop trying to convince them, and you just reassure them. And you absolutely stop creating fake urgency, and instead, you just hold space for them to make their own decision. So what's the ultimate payoff? Why do all this deep thinking work up front? Because marketing stops feeling like a constant uphill battle. It's true. When your thinking is clear and your messaging is aligned, attracting the right people and the growth that follows, it just becomes a natural byproduct. It's not a struggle anymore. So I want to leave you with this one final powerful thought, because this is really the whole shebang. This isn't about shouting louder than everyone else. It's about speaking more clearly. Because when your thinking truly comes first, you realize something amazing. The right people were never waiting for you to push them. They were just waiting to feel called.